Happy New Year, everybody. We're settling in for a new season of Free Nights and Weekends. We've got a popular co host showing up at the end of the month, Chad Goucher. He and I are going to relive that day in our 8th grade where we watched several $100 million worth of spacecraft blow up in front of us. We picked up a couple of sponsors this year, but don't worry, it's not a 5-minute testimonial in the middle of the podcast about how some pill made me learn to love again or give me my youthful glow back. We got lots of stuff coming this year. And as always, thanks for listening. All right, let's settle in today with a revisit of one of my favorite podcast episodes from 2025. Mark Boucher sat in, and we talked about the demise of PBS and, of course, Sesame Street. This was a fan favorite. It's worth a second listen. Hang tight, new season starting soon. Hey, Mark, we moved around a bit with my dad's job a few times as a kid. Atlanta, KC, Memphis, eventually Oklahoma City. So I had several streets growing up, but there was one consistent. There was a street, you know the place. It was a vampire that wouldn't shut up about math. Kind of a sexy Spanish lady, an 8-foot-tall bird, a trash monster. And I learned the alphabet had a funky jazz soundtrack to it.
Yes, Lancaster Street.
Right. No. And the line between education and hallucination was real thin, man.
Yes, it was.
Today, we're diving deep into the felt and foam fever dream that raised us, from the soothing sounds of Gordon to the raw chaos of Grover. This Free Nights and Weekends, the Sesame Street episode, brought to you by the letter W. What the frick was going on here? We're doing Sesame Street. We're doing it right now.
Brought to you by the letters L, S, and D.
Right. Yeah, we're going to get into that. The reason we're doing the Sesame Street episode, first of all, it's the glue of this generation.
Oh, God, yeah, totally.
Yeah, I mean, it got us early. And this didn't air our last episode, but one of us mentioned something about Sesame Street, and then we went off for a few minutes, and it occurred to us both, like, well, this needs to be an episode. Let's let everybody hear what made the cutting room floor last time.
That was on par with the Big Bird costume. It was as good.
Big Bird.
You know, Sesame Street.
I'm familiar with his work. Big Bird gets on my nerves, and I've not mentioned this before. I'll do it now. Henson was, by most measures, a genius.
Mm-hmm.
And, where he created the Muppets, and I just know they were sitting around. All right, you got every one of them named except this thing. And they're sitting there. Can we order Chinese? Yeah, we're going to be here a while. And like 4
we need to
hours.
come up with a name for this big giant bird.
Right. 4 hours later, they've got charts and stuff stuck to the wall, and their shirts are unbuttoned and their hair's messed up. Like, God, what do we call this 9-foot-tall bird? I don't know. I don't know. And you can tell they either mailed it in at the last minute or there was some weed involved. Dude, hang on. Look at it.
Dude, I guarantee you there was a lot of weed involved with everything Sesame Street.
Big Bird. Oh, it's right before our eyes.
Fig man.
And they pull away from that conference table, and there's Big Bird sitting there. I told you. Okay. We should have listened to Big Bird. Hey, I love it.
Can you imagine the arm strength of the guy that was in the Big Bird costume? Because he was in it, but the head was his hand. So whenever he was on camera, he was in that costume holding one of his arms up and operating the mouth and the head.
It's creepy.
Not as crazy. Oscar the Grouch was considerably more creepy. What even was he?
I don't know.
Well, we know Big Bird was a bird.
Yeah, his driver's license tells you that. It's in the name.
We knew Gordon was a human being.
We knew Gordon was, a black guy.
Yep.
I don't know why we had to do that. Speaking of Maria.
Notice I went to human. You went to black guy.
Yeah. Well, I don't want him confused with the shopkeeper.
Mr. Hooper.
Hooper, yeah. Maria was I don't know if it was Maria or Janice from The Price is Right. I don't know who won that tail of the tape, but one of them was my first crush.
Maria was hot.
All right, so you raised some good questions there. What even is Grover?
Yeah, or the Grouch. I mean, either one of them. Grover was the blue one,
Oh,
right?
I'm sorry, it was Grover.
Yeah.
What even is Grover? Or
And
God,
what even
dang
is
it.
the Grouch? I mean,
What even is the Grouch?
what kind
Yes.
of beasts are these things? I mean,
Well, I've read. He has his own Wikipedia page, of course.
yeah. And they're Muppets. I mean, you get creative license when you start making puppets. You can make whatever you want.
Well, his species is Grouch. So I don't know what genus or phylum. I don't know any of that. I just know he is a Grouch of the Grouch family.
And I've always wondered too, can he leave the garbage can? Can he get out and walk around? Or is like the bottom half of his body actually the garbage can?
I don't know, man. I think he was probably hurt real bad by a girl in college.
Yeah.
And he could, but why?
Yeah, but why bother?
Yeah.
What?
He did an interview with Anderson Cooper. Rather, Anderson Cooper was forced to do an interview with a puppet. And
Wait, Anderson Cooper interviewed Oscar the Grouch?
Yes.
I didn't see
And
that.
Oscar told him that I would still be orange if I ever took a bath.
Right, because of course he was orange in the first season.
I didn't know that.
I remember that. I remember probably seeing, because I mean, when was the first season? Like 71?
I think it was 69. It
Was
might have
it?
been
All right.
70.
Because I mean, I was too young to remember it, but I remember seeing the reruns of an orange Oscar the Grouch.
Well, I'm colorblind. It could have been chartreuse. I wouldn't know.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Man, colors are great. That's too bad.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Sucks, dude.
Actually, I got some glasses. Is this going to be the next episode? Because this isn't going to make the show. I got some glasses that fixes the cones in my eyes. I saw a green light for the first time in my life about a year and a half ago.
How does that work?
I don't know. Well, first of all, when I'm at a stoplight, I just wait for the light to turn white at the bottom.
At the bottom, sure.
That means go. And then I had the glasses on, and it turned a color I had never seen.
Which was green.
It was wild. It was kind of a bright grass color.
You know what I've always wanted to, and this is kind of deep, this is kind of philosophical, but is the green that you see the green that I see? Are we seeing green the same way?
I doubt it.
There's no way there are literally no tests to figure that out.
Right. I doubt that. I don't know though. I mean, people, if it's based on eye physiology or the cones in there that, you know.
But it's not. It's. I mean, the cones and the rods, they take the wavelengths of light, right? And then your brain interprets it into what it thinks those are.
Right.
So there is no dead set green color.
I just remember on Family Guy when Brian was pissed because there were supposed to be no brown M&Ms and no gray M&Ms, and these were all gray.
Yeah. Of course they are, because he's a dog and they can't see any color.
Yeah, I get it, Brian. I'm with you.
Yeah, that sucks.
All right.
Man. Anyway, colors are cool. Sorry.
Yeah. All right, back to it.
Yep.
So you mentioned that, early on, you're remembering Oscar when he was a different color. It's an emotional connection for people our age. It's a lot of kids' first TV memory.
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite segment?
Ernie and Bert.
Yeah.
Yeah, by far Ernie and Bert. Loved those guys. Never even occurred to me they were gay until I was an adult. Or were they?
I don't know.
Are they gay, Scott?
I don't know. I mean, if Laverne and Shirley can go through life looking for a date from a guy, they don't have to be.
No. But didn't they sleep in the same bed?
No, they did.
No, they had little single beds next to each other. That's right.
Yeah, they did the Fred and Wilma.
You're right. Right, because we can't have, people sleeping in the same bed, even if they're
right,
male and female.
When I was a kid, the Martians, the Yip Yaps.
Yeah, right.
Those dudes.
That was Muppets, though, wasn't it? Or was that Sesame Street?
That's Sesame Street. They still crack me. They still crack me up. Well, they're melded. I mean, Jim Henson was, the Muppet guy, and he was instrumental. All of those creations were his.
And wasn't Ernie and Bert were Frank Oz and Jim Henson, right?
I believe so. Yeah, it's just, Ernie and Bert reminds me a little bit of me and my brother. Bert's the studious one in his V-neck.
Yeah.
and his idiot
His
roommate, like when we
vertical
were kids,
striped V-neck. Yeah.
right? When we were kids, his idiot roommate was the one always causing turmoil, and Bert just wanted to do his homework, like my brother.
I had a Bert puppet as a kid.
I had an Ernie puppet.
Oh, dude.
Oh my god!
What a missed opportunity.
How do you have a Bert puppet?
I had a
big
Bert
banana
puppet.
head.
And it was, and it was, I don't know, the head was maybe 8 or 9 inches tall, and the hand went up through the shirt, and the arms were filled with foam, so they had some structure to them. But what pissed me off was that it was a horribly made puppet because the mouth was just agape constantly, and it took it was molded plastic, so the mouth didn't actually hinge. So when I would do Bert things with my Bert puppet, Bert some of which were not X-rated.
When I did Bert things,
when I locked myself in my room and did Bert things with my Bert puppet,
Ernie,
the mouth wouldn't close, and it was so he couldn't.
So he always looked aghast at what you were doing.
Yeah, he was just always blown away by everything I said. That was frustrating, but it was one of my favorite toys as a kid.
Oh, dude, mine too. It had a little tuft of hair on the top. My Ernie did.
Yeah.
And then, I'd go around the house, hey, Bert. And yeah, it wasn't popular in the house, but I loved it.
Gee, Bert.
Yeah. He'd have dinner with us sometimes. We didn't annoy my dad. I don't know, Mom. I don't like this pot roast much. It's like, because that wasn't me, Mom. That was Ernie. Ernie's
right.
kind of a jerk.
I'm not responsible for what Ernie says.
Right. Yeah. That's why. So, the show, we don't have to, one of the things here we don't have to describe to younger generations is just what it is, because it has evolved, certainly, but it's still the same show. It's still on. Kind of when I watched it, when we were young, it kind of walked that line between Mr. Rogers and Apocalypse Now, where it just kind of
Mr. Rogers and Apocalypse Now. Let me think that one through.
Well, the animation styles had those LSD leftovers, the claymation shorts. I tell you what I did love as a kid is when they would take you to a factory.
Oh yeah.
When I watched how crayons were made, it was like an early version of that How It's Made show.
I mean, it's good to know where your food comes from,
isn't it? Yeah. Play-Doh. I didn't have to learn it. I didn't have to find out it was salty on my own, even though I did.
Another one of my favorites was which one of these things doesn't belong. Remember the song for that?
Yeah.
One of these things isn't like the other.
Is not like the other. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, those were great.
Man.
I mean, we were genuinely taught things with that show.
That's true. And the adults certainly helped on there. I mean, Mr. Hooper died and they just kept the camera rolling. That's kind of weird.
He became a puppet.
Right. Yeah. 7 foot, 8 foot bird, the Grouch, vampire, and no visible parents anywhere on the set.
Right. They were all just metabolized somehow from nothing.
Yeah. I mean, I mentioned earlier, in the outtake from last week about Maria. Yeah. Whew, man, I had it for her.
Everybody did.
Really?
She's still on the show, like as an older Maria?
No, I don't think so. I think a couple of years ago she retired.
There's been a few Gordons too, hasn't there?
Really? I didn't know that they got a Darren Stevens Gordon. Like there's a fake one?
I actually had this prepared. Let me see. So in 1973, the third actor to portray Gordon was Roscoe Orman.
So did they have him like shrink wrapped in the back? Bring in another bald black guy. Like who's gonna know? Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. I just know him as Gordon. Who was the smiley, like half Indian, like Aztec looking dude that was always like, really happy to be there?
So there was Bob?
Yes.
And he was played by Bob.
Oh, smart. It's like Tony Danza. Tony Danza's Tony in everything he's ever been in.
He's always Tony, yeah.
There's a chance that Tony would be too stupid to answer to anything other than Tony Danza. But I don't know if that's the case for Bob. Bob seemed together.
He seemed like an engineer or something. He was a pretty smart guy.
Right?
Yeah.
So explain Elmo. He just walked on one day and boom, he just took the thing over. All the toys, all the kids. Like, I don't even remember him when we were
And what's
kids.
weird about Elmo too is he showed up on the scene, right? This little red
Yeah.
furry thing, right? And
Right.
everybody's first response was, "Man, we need to tickle that thing."
That's never occurred to me.
I mean, look at it. Look at it. You guys hold him down. I'm going to tickle him.
I don't care for your the tone of voice there.
I am so going to tickle that guy.
I'm gonna tell you what, Elmo. I don't know if you've been tickled before, but you're about to be tickled. God. Hey, did anybody tell those hippie kids how to get to Sesame Street? Because they were always there.
They were there asking how to get there.
That doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Drugs.
Right. You know, sometimes the Muppets on there seem like the normal ones. Like all the craziness around there. I mean, except Grover, who couldn't count to 2.
I don't remember.
Yeah, he had struggled after 1 or 2, I'm not sure. Grover wasn't the smartest, and I know that it was a device to have little kids be smarter than one of the characters and like rooting for him to get to 3, which is really a cool device.
Yeah, that works. It's a good mechanism.
Yeah. So, you know, the adults on the show, Gordon was always calm, like too calm, like he was suppressing something. All of the Gordons, as it turns out.
Yeah, I think there were 3 of them. But you're right; they were all very common characters. Right? They could quell a situation quickly.
Yeah, and Mr. Hooper, like I said, Mr. Hooper, you trusted him. He was at the store. Then they let him die on air. Still, that's a bold move. And then Bob, like you said, real sweet guy. Maybe like too sweet, like maybe an occult kind of sweet, like he was there recruiting.
There was also a David and a Linda and a Louis.
I don't know any of these people you're talking about.
Susan? You remember Susan? I'm literally just looking at it.
No, were these people that came about later?
Let's see. Susan was 1975, I believe, or maybe she was in the 80s.
Huh.
Linda was a deaf librarian who used sign language.
I thought that was on the Facts of Life.
I mean, it might have also been.
Did every show get a deaf lady back then?
Well, they should have.
Yeah, they should have.
Yeah. I'd watch it just for that.
You only had to pay them scale. What are they going to say?
Who are they going to complain to?
Right. So there needed to be, and I understand that each Muppet, had their own thing, but I mean, the food addiction of Cookie Monster, it's like a cautionary tale of, hey,
100% what that was too.
When your mom says not before dinner, let's lay off the cookies. Grover was like this anxious people pleaser. Elmo, like I said, emerged like a corporate virus, just took everything over.
You know what freaked me out too is every now and then they do a skit where the Muppets suddenly had legs and could walk around.
Yeah, well, like the Muppet movie where Kermit's on the bike.
Yeah. Bike down the road.
No, thanks.
And in reality, his feet are just stapled to the pedals.
Right, well, he was a puppet. Like he wasn't actually a frog.
Wait.
We'll get to that later. I should not have just dropped that on you. Sorry. Let's get back to Oscar. Yeah. Oscar honestly was the most relatable one there. The older I get, the more I get. I just kind of want to watch TV and you people just leave me alone.
Let me try something real quick here. I'm going to ask my Skynet overlord what species Oscar the Grouch was.
Okay.
Hello, Skynet. In Sesame Street, what species was Oscar the Grouch?
Hey there. Oscar the Grouch is a grouch, which is a fictional species unique to the Sesame Street universe. Grouches are known for their green fur, love of trash, and generally grumpy attitude. They're not quite like any real-world species, just a fun, imaginative creation of the show.
So basically what you said earlier.
They're also known to have bright red hair, Oklahoma Sooner cap, be partial to the Georgia Bulldogs, and generally just an amiable podcast guy. Yeah, I get it. I'm with you on Oscar. I mean, when you said last week, what even is that? I don't know, but I get him.
Well, he was very relatable, and that's, I mean, a lot of people got him, I think.
Also, I loved his comic timing. There was an episode, man, I was so young. I remember I was sitting on the floor in suburban Atlanta on a cold concrete floor in our basement. And we're watching Oscar, and they're having an Olympics. So maybe it was 76. Maybe kids were seeing the Olympics and they had one there. And Oscar came up. There was this loud crash, and he comes up out of the can. And my girl Maria says, what's going on? He says, oh, we're doing the high jump. I just broke a record. And she's congratulating him, like, oh, that's great. He said, I broke the whole record player too. It's like, okay, I get it. And I'm just cracking up. It's like vaudeville to me.
Very punny.
Yeah, it is.
Did they ever show what the inside of his garbage can looks like?
No, I wish they would have. They showed inside of Snoopy's house one time. And he had like this chase lounge and this big furry rug and a TV and an aquarium. It was just like decked out 70s. Great.
Yeah, and way bigger than it really was inside.
Yeah.
Kinda
But they never showed the can.
Like Fraggle Rock. Like, remember that? Remember how big it was down inside Fraggle Rock?
I remember it. I never watched it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, but Oscar goes down into his garbage can, and then there's like 6 levels of like luxury apartment down there.
Right. He's got a grotto.
And every now and then somebody actually throws trash down it, and he's like, son of a...
I wouldn't, I don't have a problem with that at all. So how many times a month that pinball song enter your mind?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
I just don't, I think about that all the time.
Yeah. I can
Like
see
it's-
the animation in my head, too. I can see
Yes.
it clear
Do
as
you
day.
remember the claymation girl that lost her ice cream in slow-mo? Oh my gosh. It was a big deal at kindergarten. Like, yeah, it was the claymation weirdness back then. I don't know. I haven't watched it, of course, in years. Do they keep any of that early psychedelic kind of colors and stuff? I wonder.
Man, I don't know. You know what? As prep for this podcast, we probably should have actually gone and watched one of the recent episodes.
Yeah.
Probably should have done that.
I just don't know if I could tolerate. Big Bird imagined a whole ass elephant and nobody saw him.
Didn't Duffaluffagus actually become real at some point?
I think so. I mean, he was real. I saw him.
I saw him too, clear as day.
Yeah. And then that's the whole thing as kids like, no, he's really there. And like Maria's like, Big Bird, you liar. And I promise. Like that was traumatic.
How many dudes were in the Snuffleupagus suit? Probably 2.
That
took some work.
But I mean, I thought about checking out a newer episode, but I didn't want to see the Count running a crypto scheme or Big Bird trying to unionize. I didn't have that in me.
Right. Mr. Hooper installing his new active shooter door locks on the inside.
Oh my God. Yeah. So some things are just best. Yeah. So how didn't there were ongoing gags. I get it. It's a kid's show. But like wasn't Ernie like stuck to the tub? Like didn't he were there a couple of episodes in a row where the rubber ducky bit and he couldn't get out of the tub?
Of course the rubber ducky bit. Well, he doesn't have legs. He can't get out of the tub.
Oh.
But that's not where you're going with that. No, it's
the only Ernie I knew of personally had a fat kid's arm crammed up his shirt, annoying my parents. So,
well, did you take your Ernie doll into the tub with you?
I might have. I do know this. I solved my problem that you had with Bert.
Yeah.
I left him out in the northern Mississippi sun one day in the backyard.
Low pliability.
Yeah. I put my hand in. It was hot. But, man, I could move him like a Muppet.
Well, maybe I should have nuked mine.
Yeah. Throw him in the dryer for a little bit.
I'm in the dryer.
Hey, Bert has it coming. What was his problem anyway? He was always just aggravated.
He was always the jerk.
Yeah. So what?
But those two had the exact same dichotomy that almost every brother or brother sister in the country did that were watching that show, so that everybody could relate to it.
Right. Yeah. I remember when Ernie took a bite out of the plate of cookies and he realized Bert would know. And so he starts biting around the edge of the cookie to make it round. And it was like the size of a nickel when he was finished. And there comes in Bert with his unibrow, just all pissed about it. Like, hey, Bert, there's a good chance Ernie is retarded. So just take it easy on him. Like, clearly you're the brains of the outfit. It's okay. Again, kind of like me and my brother.
Dude, lay off of them Spectrum cookies.
Yeah. I don't know. I remember I did look up the list of celebrities that have been on that show.
Oh, it's a lot.
Unreal. John Hamm.
John Denver.
That's right. Well, Denver hosted a Muppet show one time.
He did. Yeah. Well, the famous Christmas one.
Yeah.
John Denver and the Muppets Christmas. James Taylor was one too. I remember that one.
I bet that was wild.
Probably not.
You imagine James Taylor and Jim Henson in a meeting or a production meeting about this. Hey man, that'd be a great idea if we just did that. Oh yeah. Yeah, we could have all regular Muppets everywhere. I don't know. You gotta have some energy somewhere. So who among all the Muppet universe, who was your favorite character on Sesame Street?
Are we limiting this just to Sesame Street, or are we including the Muppets?
No, it's Sesame Street.
Sesame Street only.
Oh, I've got two minor characters that were just fantastic.
What were those?
Well, there was the round-headed guy that was always pissed. Like he had a little tuft of hair on the top and a little mouth that kind of looked like Beaker.
Yeah.
He was a restaurant. He was always in a restaurant and Grover was his waiter.
Okay. I remember Grover as a waiter.
Yeah.
He had one hand that worked.
Yeah, well, this guy was like, just can I get some soup? One soup coming up. And then that's kind of a Yoda, sort of. That wasn't really Grover. And he worked on my Grover. And so this guy's like, his order's always wrong. He's that guy. And Guy Smiley.
Guy Smiley. Was that the TV news anchor?
Yes.
I'm just going to come right out. That was my favorite character.
My gosh.
I'd forgotten about him until like just now, but definitely Guy Smiley.
He was an amalgam of all those Ted Baxter sort of like full of himself and like perfect hair. He'd always turn to the camera. If there was a storm or a fire, there's Kermit out there in the field with his microphone, waving his arms around frantically. It was back to the studio with a Guy. Thank you, Kermit. Like, I love that guy.
He's the kind of guy that, as a kid, is like a 3-year-old. If he was an actual human being, 3-year-old Guy Smiley would be out in his yard with a wooden spoon pretending to be on television, like already at 3 years old.
I get it. Boy, that's the truth. All right. So let's see. You got, I don't remember Susan. I certainly remember Maria. And then the others that you mentioned.
Linda, that was the deaf librarian. David was a store clerk and later managed Hooper's. Maybe that was after Mr. Hooper died.
I don't know if David had something to do with Mr. Hooper.
No, David joined in 1971, so Hooper was alive and well then.
Well, that's what I mean. I wonder if Dave had something to do with Hooper's demise.
Maybe Dave killed him.
Well, I mean, it's a one-man show. You're not going to rise the corporate ladder at the store selling asparagus. You gotta do what you gotta do.
Right. And you want those sweet grocery store margins.
Right. Yes. That is the truth.
No, I get it. That's worth killing over.
Yeah, that's true. Do you have anything stuck out? I told you about the crayon factory. Did any of those stick out where they would go?
I don't know that I remember specifically. I remember they did that. I can't remember any of the field trip type things.
Man, I was always just so fascinated with that.
I mean, the modern day version of that is the How It's Made series.
Yeah, the Canadian series.
Discovery Channel, yeah.
Yeah, I watched that.
That's the adult version of it. I could binge those shows for days on end.
I do. I think I could put them on at night, though, when I'm trying to get some sleep, because that announcer's voice.
Here,
And
the
then you-
worker,
Right.
puts the Q-tip into the Q-tip slider tray.
Right. And then the Bing housing fits snugly into the Scumly Boo. And there's always some bored guy there, huh? It's like just doing his job. It's pretty great. Yeah, I'm sure that has its roots.
It's always
in the
workers.
Right. So, do you have any? That there's talk now, and I don't want to get political on this, of getting rid of funding. That show is clear evidence that it has legs to stand, and it could be something to be marketed. Surely, I mean, everybody knows the characters. Nickelodeon, all kinds of kids networks now. I don't know if it's as necessary as it was in 1969.
In May of recently, May of this year, the current administration terminated the Ready to Learn grant, which had funded educational programming like Sesame Street, citing concerns over woke propaganda.
I don't know if I have anything to add to that.
It's literally a discussion we can't have without getting political.
Yeah, I know. I just don't. Maria's off the show now, so who cares?
Let it go.
Right? It's not like it's as essential now for kids whose faces are in iPads.
Right. I mean, who needs Sesame Street? We've got SEAL Team 6 now in their 6th season.
Right.
Same thing.
Good Lord. Who needs Sesame Street? I can't finish. I was going to make an OnlyFans 13-year-olds. But I'm not going to, because I'm better than that. I'm not talking about fifth graders making weed deals at their schools. I'm not doing it.
I can confirm that definitely never happened at my school.
I think there's every chance that we've exhausted Sesame Street. So look, man, we've covered it. It was weird. It was chaos. It was therapy in felt form as a kid, and it worked. We learned our ABCs. We learned empathy, and somehow, despite Grover's best efforts, we learned to never give up, man. And there were some solid lessons in the show.
Yep. I mean, our childhood, both of our childhoods, it was such a major impact, and I actually feel bad for kids, going forward that aren't going to have it. It's a big chunk of coolness that they're not going to know.
And, I think it was sandwiched between. It was part of the era, the Electric Company and Zoom, and all of those kind of psychedelic shows that kind of fit in the era. It was a stalwart. It's the one that survived it. But I think in a vacuum by itself, it's not as great as it was in the time. That's it. Mark, thanks for sitting in. Had a great time. Thank you. All right, that's it. Hit us up on our socials, Free Nights and Weekends Podcast, Facebook, Instagram, X. See you next Friday.
I mean, I actually left out my Gordon comment where you said there's 3 different Gordons, and I did not say, well, they all look the same.
Oh my God. You know how at the end of the episodes, I'll usually add something? There's a real chance
that's going to end up there at the end.
Yeah, it might.